Da, 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 da. Okay, so we've spoken about the Earth Star chakra
Hmm.
ages ago, which I think we'll probably have to do another brief on that. But today we are going to talk about, God, here we go, start yawning, Soul Star. So do you know anything about the Soul Star chakra?
Mm-mm. I'm not sure. I was getting it confused with the other one that you just mentioned. So
With the Earth Star. So basically,
yeah.
Earth Star is like 6 inches underneath root. I mean, I always, root we know is at the base of the spine, which, in all honesty, I've always said this, and you've heard me say it many, many times. We have to work on the root first because so many people are up here because they think, oh, we need to be spiritual. I need to be in my third eye. I need to be up, da, 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 da. You've got to be grounded. You've got to have
Mm.
that connection to earth. It's the foundation. And when we start talking about the personality types, you're going to understand these different chakras even better because the personality types really give you a deeper understanding of the people as well. Because, for example, the root chakra is 40% of the population, the crown chakra is 1%. That's your Buddhas living on top of a mountain in a cave somewhere. Very, very few people actually doing that. But we need to really begin at the base because the base, everything builds on the base. It's like having that bottom rung on the ladder. You can't just literally leap from the first one up to the top. You have to take the steps until you get to the top. And it's the same with this. So the Earth Star is the one that's 6 inches underneath the feet. So it's not, we always think, oh God, it's always yawning when I come on here. When we think of the root chakra, I often, we always say ground yourself from the feet, but the root chakra really is around the lower part of the pelvis, lower part of the back, is Debian. But the Earth Star is literally right under the feet. Okay, so it's not a part of the feet at all. So when we think, it's Debian there. Oh my God, it doesn't
And
make
if
me
that's Earth
yawn.
Star, where's the Soul Star then?
So Soul Star is up here. So Soul Star is 6 inches above the crown. So there's quite a difference between the crown, again, like there's a difference between the root and the Earth Star, there's quite a difference between the crown and the Soul Star. So this one, the Soul Star, is roughly about 6 inches. Hi, Debbie Ann, lovely to see you. It's roughly about 6 inches above the crown. But, energy changes and develops and expands. It's also known as the bridge. Okay. I've got lots of notes, which I will get put out for you. Oh, God, in the group. So the soul star in Sanskrit, so we know we've got Sahasrara, which is the crown. The soul star, the eighth chakra, is also known, it's known as the seat of the soul. It's quite different. I just had it a minute ago. What was the brain damage about the Sanskrit title for it? Gonna have to come back to that in a sec. But this literally is your eighth chakra, so the seat of the soul, because it actually, the difference between this and the crown is the seat of the soul contains the information about your current incarnation. Okay, so the bridge chakra, so we know we're very much in the 3D when we're down in our roots. When we come into the soul star, we're coming into the fourth dimension and above. So it's the bridge between the information that is beyond the space and time and your incarnation into this time space reality. Okay, so it's very much to do with what have you brought into this incarnation? Are you living in this incarnation? Are you aligned with this incarnation or not? Oh my God, excuse me, girls.
You're making us
So,
yawn.
say again.
You're making us yawn.
And do you know what it is? I don't know, whenever I come on here or whenever I've got Healy running, I'm always yawning. It shifts my energy. So I'm not being rude, girls, I promise you. tired even. That's the stupid thing about it. It just looks very rude. So when we think about this, this chakra, it gives or it governs the temporal identification and the disidentification. So temporal, what's going on in here, whichever part of the brain that is. So when you, oh my God, when you forget the reason that you've come here, and most of us, this is why we go on this journey, isn't it? Because we're trying to work out, well, what the freaking heck am I coming this planet for? What is my purpose here? So this is very much connected to the soul star. And it is a little star. So think about this as this beautiful white light, this beautiful star. You know, sometimes we get the images on the cards where you've just got these gorgeous tiny stars, but bright as bright can be. You could think of that as like your soul star. So it'd be interesting to feel into the energy, for example, of somebody, oh my God, who doesn't believe in any of this. You know, how many people do you know that say, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in spirituality, I don't believe there's anything after this lifetime that we're living, and da 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 da. A lot of people really are in that place. They don't have any belief whatsoever. So it'd be very interesting to actually be able to feel the energy of their soul star chakra. Because you probably find it's not very strong at all because of that. Does that make sense, girls? Can you sort of get an idea of what this is and the difference of this compared to the crown chakra? Because think of the crown chakra represents your individuality, whereas the soul star chakra is beyond all of that. It goes into another, it's literally going into the fourth dimension, hemisphere. It is beyond all of that 3D, trying to work out who you are, da 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 da. You already are this beautiful person who's come into this world for a specific purpose. You know, you've got this divine light that's coming all the way down. So the divine light that comes from the highest realm all the way down, that is what's feeding this soul star chakra, so that you can find more purpose or find your purpose in life, but also be at peace with that.
I always thought we came back because we haven't learned the lessons we should have learned.
Yeah, possibly so. And that could be, Sue, that, you know, at the end of the day, we never know how many lifetimes we have been here, or maybe how many lifetimes we may, you know, be back for, if you believe that. But if you don't, and I truly think this is just it's a much deeper question to ask and a deeper conversation. It's like, well, why are you here? Why are we specifically interested in what we are doing? Why are others not? Why is it that you can talk to some people and they think you're completely mad? You know, we know we've drawn into this for some reason or another, and don't have to be in the logical level to actually trying to explain what that is. You just know there's more out there in here than what you have been told as a child or told as an adult or told by society or whatever else, because most of the stuff is a big lie. We've come on this platform called Earth in this physical body to learn whatever, I believe, to learn, and I'm pretty sure that to learn whatever we need to learn about being inside of ourselves. It's about, I heard a great phrase the other day, I was listening to something, and it's being present with your presence. Two very different things, if you think about it. You've got, let's be present. We use that a lot. We'll be present. And then we've got your presence. It's quite different. Can you see, you know, that doesn't When you're absolutely in your presence, for me, it's like you are so tuned in to yourself. You're on another dimension. You automatically go into a different space. Whereas if we are just present, we are just right here and now. It's quite a logical place to be present. But if you are in presence, it's different. Subtly. Do you get that? Do you have a sense of that? Presence and present. Yeah? So when we think, and we'll do a little meditation in a minute, and just see how, if we can really connect to this soul star chakra, because it's not the last. You know, we know that there are 10, 11, 12, 13 above. And the higher we go above, the more we are connecting into that 5D world. The more we really connect up into the presence. But what we really want to make sure, whenever we're doing this, is that the root, the earth star, are grounded. Because none of this matters. None of this matters. I know so many people that I work with and I come across in this work who are so, and they say to me, and I'm like, yeah, I know you, ground yourself. And those are the words I'm always saying to them, because they're up here. They're in La La Land. They're in fairyland. And it's like, God Almighty, just bring yourself back to base, because they're all over the place. You know, you must know people like that as well. Or you get other people who are so grounded, and this is what you're going to learn in the personality types, because they are so fascinating. You'll get some people who are so bloody grounded, it's almost like they're walking with glue on their feet, that they are so stuck to the earth in a solid sort of way, not in that magnificent way which I'm talking about, where we're connected to Mother Earth, the energy of the earth. But these people are just solid. These are the people who, earth root chakra people, generally speaking, are ones who do not like change. Ones, the people who you might hear them say, I've never even been out of my county. I've never even been out of my village. You know, they're still living in the house they were born in. That is an earth chakra personality type, full on. A little bit too much in the overbalance of that. But can you see the difference? There's a difference between being really solid and overbalanced. We call it overbalanced. It's like that sort of over solidness, you know, where they're very staid and they're like, they don't have any energy. They don't have the up and go. Everything has to be routine. I need my lunch at 1 o'clock. I need my dinner at 6 o'clock. I go there on this day. Those are very, very slightly, I would say, out of balance root chakra people. So we need to be careful how we use this and how we connect with the root chakra, because the root chakra for me is very much like the bliss of connecting to the magic of the earth, not just feeling like you are a lump, whatever, just stuck on the earth. It's like, what is that magical connection that you actually have to the earth, to the magic of the earth, to the core of the earth? And so that comes up to when we come to the higher realms. Once you've got these first three physical chakras, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus, in balance, because they all represent how we show up in the physical world, we then can go further up and work on those. Which is why we generally start, and I'll start every meditation with the root chakra connecting to the earth. With a lot of people I know, they just work on the heart chakra, and that's all they work with. But none of these are going to sustain that alignment if your root chakra is out of balance. It's like building a house on sand. As soon as a storm comes, they're down. Whereas if you build it on really solid roots, it might do a little wobble, but it will still be there. That's the difference. Yeah. So I think the soul star, because it's not something that you hear much, and it's not really something that the other chakras, the higher realm chakras, are definitely being talked about a lot more and coming up a lot more. But for us to actually start working with this one, it's quite exciting, really. So think of this as your North Star. We always know, you want to follow the North Star to go here, there, or wherever, because the North Star is that really bright star. So how can this be your North Star? So this is known for us as your own North Star, the Polaris or the pole star, because it's nearer to the sky. So your North Star. So if I said to you now, and you just have a little think about it, what is your purpose to be here? What do you feel that you are, or why you've been drawn into this world of energy and all the things that we do, this exploration of yourself? What has drawn you into this? What do you feel is your purpose here? Other than going to work every day, coming home, doing the usual things, hopping on a plane somewhere, feeding the horses sometime, what is your main purpose? Because this is the key to unlocking everything, the joy, the happiness, and that sense of presence, absolute presence. Because if we can be in that sense of presence, nothing else matters. It doesn't matter, because you're not thinking about what might happen or what has happened or getting stuck in that treadmill of whatever. You're just here. Yeah? Jules, what do you think is your purpose? Or your guidance, or?
Without thinking about it too deeply, I just thought of love.
Yeah.
To love and be loved.
That's good enough. And are you achieving that?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Sue, what about you?
I sometimes think my purpose is to help the animals. All the animals that I have seem to find me, and they all had a problem, or were, I think virtually every horse that I've got, I got it because somebody else didn't want it.
Wow.
And even the horse we've got now, the one that was supposed to go to the butcher's, absolutely fantastic horse. Really fantastic little horse. Well, great big horse. It's very, very fine. But the same with my cat, my dog, all my dogs before. I've never gone out and bought a dog from a pedigree dog or from a breeder or something. I've always got one from a dog home or some rescued something. And I think that's my purpose, and I love it. I'm sure I've got other purposes, but I don't reckon that I think in my last life I probably wasn't the best of people. Sometimes I feel that I might have been a bit higher perhaps, but I don't think I was very nice to the lower ones. I don't know how I feel that. I've had that feeling for hundreds of years, absolute years. Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because we know we've had different lifetimes, and that you've had different experiences which we've come back to replay, or maybe play the other side of it, from whatever culture and all sorts. I mean, I know I've sort of seen myself in Egypt many times. I've been told I need to go to Egypt. I've only been there once, actually.
I didn't like Egypt at all.
No, I was very disappointed with the pyramids. There's a load of old shit all around the pyramids.
Yeah.
I was like, seriously, this looks such a magnificent place, and then you go there and it's like, huh? It's like, okay.
This is why I'd like to do this. This, what do you call it? I don't know what it's called. To go back into regression.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
you've got to find somebody who doesn't make a mess of it, because I think you could be quite disturbed if you got with the wrong person.
I mean, I've been to a regret. I'll tell you a funny story. Actually, when my ex left, this was a good example of what you were talking about. About 6 weeks after he left, I'd already had a trip booked to Hong Kong. And in Hong Kong, they used to have this shop for many, many years. I used to go there when I was flying. So, I mean, this was really back in the 90s. It was called the New Age Shop. And I always used to head there because there weren't many shops like that around. And especially Hong Kong, it was run by Westerners. It wasn't a Chinese one, it was an English one. And I went there for a reading with an Australian woman because they used to get people going over there. I know several people here used to go over for 2 weeks, twice a year, for example, and do readings and do all sorts. And she said, and the weirdest thing, I was sitting in this tiny little room, white walls, and there was this shadow on the wall that was like Jesus Christ. An image of a shadow. It was weird. And she'd said to me, because I was like, I couldn't even take my wedding ring off. I was like, no, I put that on and put it on. I vowed I'd never take it off, blah, blah, blah. I've never taken it off. I've never had taken it off. And I got into this room and it was almost like my fingers were burning. And I just went like that. I thought, I've got to get this thing off my finger. And she'd said to me, you've been in 3 lifetimes together. He's left you, you've left him, he's left you. And it was in Egypt as well. It was very bizarre. But I could see that. And I've seen other life things. So find somebody, because it's quite interesting. And in my experience, I've not really experienced anything that's been really horrible as such. You've just experienced, I mean, I do remember myself being in stocks, which probably wasn't very nice.
Really?
But if you go for that, it's quite fascinating. But really, it's like, what are we here for? Because there's a much, much deeper message for all of us as to why we're here and why we're even curious about finding out why we're here. Because a lot of people haven't got not an inkling of interest at all.
Listening to Sue was saying about the animals, I think I'm here to help people, because I find people, all sorts of people ask me for advice and my opinions, and sometimes it's on stuff I've got no experience of.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I prefer animals to people.
They can't answer back.
I have my group who I love, my family and everything like that, but on the whole, I don't like being with a lot of people. I just don't like them very much.
I think that's actually, I think it's quite common, to be honest, Sue. Animals used to find my mum. My mum never got animals. I mean, in Spain, she always had a dog that was landing, or 3 cats that were landing on the doorstep and never disappeared, and they never went. She'd got dogs from, bags and things that are about to be put down. And so, yeah, I think it's wonderful that you do that. It's really beautiful. Carry on.
Yeah, but it came to me. I didn't go looking for it. It came to me.
But quite often that's the way it happens, isn't it?
Mm.
Debbie Ann, what about you?
I think mine was unconditional love. And I think there are a lot of situations where I set up an environment for people that they hadn't experienced before or couldn't. And then I think I have some other things, some other sidelines. One is like being a messenger type person and sort of connecting people to things, that too. So I think it's more than one thing, but the overall theme is probably unconditional love. And maybe I needed to experience that too, but it seems more like me putting that out to other people and receiving conditions back.
But that is what unconditional love is all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like not having any expectations of the situation. It's just that is what unconditional love is. And that for us on our human level is quite difficult, and especially in our culture, because our culture very much dictates, if you give something to someone, you say thank you. You have gratitude for that.
Yes.
Yeah, and actually unconditional love. And I think that's where with animals, they teach us so much about unconditional love.
Especially
Because
dogs.
they don't give a monkeys about what you look like or what you've done or anything else. They just give you what's there. And it's quite
Well,
beautiful.
sometimes like if people run really cruel to a pet, the pet may just want to get away from them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So they have limits too.
Absolutely. And rightly so. You
Yeah.
know, there is
They
so
all
much.
say lock your husband and your dog in the boot of a car and go away for an hour. And when you come back, guess which one was pleased to see you?
Dog.
Okay, I've not heard that before, but that's very good. The dog will be very happy to see you.
Isn't it true, isn't it? It's amazing. The dog would be so thrilled.
Yeah.
Your husband would murder you, but the dog would be so thrilled.
The dog would be more. Yeah, no, that's very true. And it's actually very, very true. And that's what's so beautiful about working with animals or being with animals, and especially animals who maybe have been traumatized. The same as, you know, humans we've all been traumatized actually, haven't we?
Yeah, but animals like horses, they are really they're real healers.
Yeah.
You know, if you're traumatized or if you have something wrong and you just go and sit in a box with a horse, it's amazing how much they can heal you.
Well, supposedly they're really good with autistic children.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is quite mad. I think animals just in general, I mean, if you can just, you know, I mean, actually, I'll tell you a funny story. My dad, robins are the thing. And or whenever I see a robin, it's my mum. You know, and I don't see them sometimes for ages. And the other day, I just saw two. And then Dad in his workshop used to have this robin that used to come in every single day. It used to sit on his plate when he was eating his lunch at the end of the day. And it would then sort of like take bits. It was just amazing. And it did this for about 3 years. And I said to him, it was Edna, his previous one of his girlfriends, who was lovely, lovely, lovely German lady actually. And I'm sure it was her. Then I think the robin must have died because it just disappeared.
3 years is about their lifespan.
Yeah, well, exactly that. I was like, bloody hell, this robin's still going. It's still going, you know. And it was the same robin. It wasn't like it was another one. It was so cute. The other day, I was with him earlier this week. Went outside, and he's got one of these roller things, which is a brilliant piece of kit. And there's a robin just hopped straight on it. And literally, we were here. And now this robin is following him everywhere and just hopping up and just back again. It's another one.
Maybe Edna's back again.
I don't know, it might be the same. But anyway, but it is fascinating how we can connect quite differently to nature, you know, whether it's the bird life or whether it's the animal life, then sometimes then we can connect with humans because the humans are not in that presence. They're not in alignment. There's often an agenda. You know, we walk around with an agenda every day, especially when we meet other people that maybe we don't feel that good energy from. But if we could bring ourselves into absolute alignment within ourselves, imagine what difference that would make. You know, if you could be completely every day balance from your roots up to the soul star and above, you wouldn't care what else was going on. You really wouldn't. You wouldn't be interested in the politics. You wouldn't be interested in the arguments and the stories and everything else. It's just a show. It's a drama. So it's a really good lesson to just think, well, how can I follow my North Star today? Where is my North Star? Might get a really good view of the stars tonight because it looks like it's clear outside.
Really clear out, yeah.
Really cloudy. We're not being able to see flipping anything. It's amazing when you can actually see the stars. It's like, well, which ones are drawing you to their eye? You know, which ones would you follow? What is your North Star? So maybe that's a question for you to just think, where is your North Star? Where would your North Star take you if you could follow it? If you had no idea what your North Star wanted from you, where would you go? What would you do? Who would you see? What would you be thinking? How would you feel? Because it is about coming back into this place of presence and not just the present moment. It's quite a different thing. Let me just see what else I've got on my notes about this one. Yeah, actually, there was something else here that I wanted to tell you about. Right. God, I've just lost the page. Where are we? Where are we? So this week, girls, I'd really like you to think about this soul star. And I'd really like you to think about the North Star, this bridge that you are now crossing from this 3D world into this fourth and up into the fifth. What difference does that make to your day when you are totally in your presence of the soul star chakra? Let me just see, what else did I want to say about this? Yeah, so just think about these different things when it is out of alignment. Things that you may notice is that you feel lost. You haven't got that. I mean, how many times do we hear, I don't know what my purpose is in life. I don't really know what the bigger picture is. I don't know what I'm going to be doing down the road. Da, 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 da. Okay? So just think if that's you at points of time, because those are the things which will actually show you that that is not an alignment. So, you know, when you don't prioritize what your values are, when you feel like just disconnected, you know, that feeling of just like not feeling that you're really in your presence, in alignment, you're disconnected from everything. That is a good way to recognize that actually you really are disconnected and you are not connected with maybe where you could be. Let me just see. Everything's going on strike here. Let me just go. Anything else I wanted to talk to you about? So at the end of the day, really, what this does tell you is it's like having the awareness. It's like anything. The awareness is key, because when we've got awareness of where we are, what we feel, what we're doing, what doesn't feel right, what feels great, we have the ability then to actually take action and think, actually, you know, I've got more acceptance of where I am. That feels good. I can commit more to what my inner calling is, what my true essence is, connecting deep inside to your heart space, which we know, you know, is where your soul will send the messages from. So that will give you a really good idea of, right, presence. We need to be present. We need to be present. So let's just do a little meditation just to sort of come into that. Just thinking, isn't it? Think. So just think about this. We feel into these 7 chakras where we feel that there's a space, there's an energy center where energy is more stored in these different things. I want you to think of this bridge chakra as a gateway. It's the bridge, okay, between the physical and the non-physical self, the infinite and the finite. So it's quite different to those 7, which we can put in their boxes and we can talk about all the different things that we can do with them, you know, having the connection with them. So, oh God, if I don't yawn through all this, let's do a little meditation, because I want you to see if you can actually sense what it feels like to get out of these 7 and take it up another level. Okay, so just allow yourself just to close your eyes just for a minute. And you can do a scan through your body, just this physical place that you are living inside. Just do a scan. Is there pain? Is there tension? Is there, I don't know, discomfort? Do you feel like your body's stiff? Does it feel like you need a bit of a massage, or you need to work some part of your body to release any tension? Just have an awareness. Does it feel tight in your hands, in your jaw? These places that we often don't recognize, that feel quite uncomfortable at times. Your shoulders. And then just allowing yourself to come into the breath. So breathing in from the base of the tummy in for 5. And then just breathing out for 10. Feel with every breath that gentle, subtle letting go. Being in the presence of the breath right now. And notice when you are really in the presence of your breath, how much more sensitive you feel within your body. You can sense what's going on in different places. You can feel into the silence. And then just coming down to your feet. So just imagine, if your feet are not on the ground, that they are, just connecting into Mother Earth, whether it's the soil, whether it's the grass, beautiful rich green grass, or maybe it's even the beach. Might be a little cold, but just feel your feet resting down on Mother Earth, whichever form it takes. You can spread your toes out. Feel the stretch from the sides of the balls of your feet. So they're stretching out and into the earth, evenly placed. Nice deep breaths as you feel that you've got these beautiful roots that are taking you down through the center of your feet, the balls of your feet, the toes and the heels, taking you deep, deep down into the core of the earth, the magical core that we can never see. You might get a sense of what it's like, but we don't really know what it's like down there. So just imagine you're creating this story under the earth, this whole life that goes on. So see those roots just firmly planted, spreading out, spreading down, and have a sense of that place of feeling safe, feeling secure, feeling supported just by the earth. And then as you're coming up the body, come up from the soul, the earth star chakra, which is right deep under the feet, at least 6 inches under the feet. Coming up into the root, Muladhara, which is just under the pelvis. Around the hips, the lower part of the hips, just feeling strong, feeling steady. Coming into Svadhisthana, the sacral chakra, beautiful orange, just underneath the navel. And then just above the navel, coming up into the solar plexus, your power center. Coming into your heart space. And just ponder in your heart space a minute, because we also know that the heart is also the bridge. It's the bridge from those first 3 chakras, which are how our physical body is responding to the world, and the more spiritual, coming up into the throat. So just feel the balance. Knowing that this color is green, we know the color green is all about balance and calm and nurturance. And just breathe in and out of the heart space for a moment. So just bringing the breath in, expanding through the sides of the ribs, and letting it go. And allowing your breath to bring it up into the throat, into Vishuddha. Feeling that the space around your throat, your neck, the upper part of your shoulders is just expanding and opening up through the jaw. And then coming up into the third eye. Yin Tan, as it's also known, that third eye point, which is the most powerful point on the acupuncture system. Out of 360 whatever points, this is your power point. The third eye, Yin Tan. And you can have a sense now of looking from the inside out. So feel as if you are sitting behind the third eye and you're just opening up the curtains. And then coming up through the crown, Sahasrara, top of the head. And then I'd like you to bring your awareness all the way up, 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 until you go further and further and further. And I want you to see yourself coming up into the light, this bright white light. And you're going to bring this white light down into this soul star chakra. 6 inches or so above the crown. Bring it into that awareness. Just for a moment, hold that white light, that iridescent, brilliant white light in that space. Have a sense of how that feels. This white light, this star, you may see it as a star. This is your North Star. This is the place that you can tune into. Anytime you feel that you've gone out of alignment, what is your purpose today, right in this minute? Ask for that divine guidance from your soul star chakra. And then as you see that beautiful, brilliant white light sitting in that space, it doesn't leave that space, but I want you just to imagine that that white light now is coming through your auric field. It's coming down through all the other chakras, all the way through the crown, third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus. Oh, the sacral, the root, all the way down. But you can look up and you can see your soul star. It's almost like, you know, the stars, sometimes you see that beautiful glittering star on a Christmas tree, right at the very top. And it looks as if it's sort of stretching above the end of the Christmas tree, or the top of the Christmas tree. So see that beautiful white light still shining brightly. And you can still see this light coming through the center of your body, and also see it now from the soul star chakra, just shining, sort of spreading its light, just like a beautiful shower all around your body, in your energy field. So you are totally encapsulated in this brilliant, iridescent white light. Every cell has been washed and flushed clean with this white light. Space between each of the cells. Be aware of how that really feels. Feel a sense of calm, a sense of lightness, a sense of space within your body, space between the cells. And just keep that white light shining brightly above your crown chakra in its own space. Bringing your awareness back down to your roots, just making sure that you feel grounded again. And you can see those roots going deep, deep down. Thank goodness we've got this. Thank goodness we have got this beautiful connection to Mother Earth. How lucky are we? Feel that beautiful connection. That magnetic force that keeps us strong, keeps us safe, allows us to be confident, allows us to move forwards, allows us to actually have that joy as we move forwards in our day through all of these energy centers. As long as they're brought into alignment, your day is going to be magnificent. So just take a nice deep breath, just really move your body around. Notice how that feels. Notice how your feet feel. Notice how your entire energy center, going through the center of the body all the way up to the soul star, how does it feel? How do you feel? And then when you're ready, just feel into your body, just move it around a little bit, and then just come back into the room when you're ready. Are you still with me, girls? Jules, how was that for you?
I don't know. I nodded up.
You nodded off as well.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, quite early on, I think.
I think these. Yeah. I think Sue and Debbie Ann, did you nod off, girls?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get to the soul star? Did you go
No.
there? You didn't go there.
No.
Susan did. Sue. You know, I used to calling you Susan. Sue, did you get there?
No, you started talking and I nodded off.
Mm.
Real, sort of like, it's like a deep meditation. It's amazing.
Yeah, really deep. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you must have gone there. You would have got. Debbie Ann, did you get any further than the roots? Or did you?
No, and I think it would have been nice to just crawl into bed and fall asleep at that point.
Okay. Well, you can do this again.
Yeah, play it again.
And just go through it. But just imagine, did you hear the Christmas tree?
No.
I did hear something about a Christmas tree, yeah.
Okay. What I was saying, when you see a beautiful Christmas tree and you just see that star at the top, and it doesn't look, quite often it can look like it doesn't even belong on the Christmas tree because it seems to be apart from the top of the Christmas tree. That's like your North Star. So think of your North Star as this beautiful star that's above your head and it's just connecting you into this other realm. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, girls. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that and you can remember it all. Can send you asleep any day.
No, it was nice. I feel very relaxed.
Good. Well, just take that with you and I will get this put into a PDF. I'm just working on something else at the moment, which I've got to do as a matter of priority. But let me know how that feels because I want you to feel the light. Feel into the light within your body in every cell. Okay? Just imagine when you look out in the stars tonight, Where's your North Star? Feel that those stars are all inside of your body, into every cell. Then you can go to bed.
Thank you.
All right. We do have Frequency Friday. Did any of you notice today is 11/11? 11/11/11/11.
Yeah.
Magical portal. And we've got a full moon at the end of the week. So many shifts in the energies right now. Huge, huge, huge shifts. So just keep in that state of beingness and just think about this present. Are you present or are you in presence? Because it's quite beautiful. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome, girls. Anyone watching the replay, let me know if you stayed awake or you fell asleep as well. All right. I'll upload it anyway and put it into the group, and then you can have another.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, girls. Lots of love.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Sleep well.
Thanks. Bye.
Drink some water as well.